Should be good to go. Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing, testing, 1, 2. Hello, hello. We are live. Let's get going. Hello. Twitch is slow to start here. Are we going? What's going on here? Try refreshing this maybe. Hello? That sounds good. Bit more audio test. I didn't change the volume. Music sounds loud. Still at 30. Alright, let's try checking that again. Still at 30. Alright, let's try checking that again. Alright, that sounds good. As long as I'm louder than the music. Okay. It's comfy in here. Alright. Hello, welcome. I need to press publish. Let everyone on YouTube know that I'm here. Got some sleep. Got a good amount of sleep, actually. And we are going to be continuing with the Shadowbringers MSQ today. I follow a lot of FF14 players and content creators on Twitter. And I have heard nothing but praise for the MSQ. I'm really enjoying it so far. Everything in Ulmor was pure world building, and it was great. Today we're going to be heading to Amarang to meet up with Alisaie. So let's go ahead and do that. Kassad. Hello, sir. I need to get the other twin. If you would take me to her, please. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I have to remember every time I come in here or every time I'm playing, to set the chat to battle.
Arang. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Armarang meant majestic land in the language of his people.
Ooh, this music.
And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Wow. Very different, this music. Wow. Yeah, spoiler. Sometimes I'm just gonna stand still and listen to the music. different. So pretty. I love it. Alright. No matter how many times I come here, the heat never fails to catch me off guard. Don't be surprised when the temperature drops at night, though. The sky is still bright, of course, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where Alisaie's friend, this Alisaie friend of yours, is staying. But that's fair old distance. So I suppose we make a stop in Souq, to break up the trek, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off. And I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Alright, we head southwest, straight as an arrow. Yeah, not too sure as a straight as an arrow part. Gonna explore a little bit. It's the giant cactuars! Look at him go! Look at him! Do the thing! Allah standing on the top of a ridge yelling at cactuars. Do a thing! Unclassified Gigantinter. One of you has to do the thing that I saw on Instagram. Do it. You cowards. Exposed. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah! Alright. To the west. Here I go. To the west. Across this bridge. That's a big boy. Malik Tender. 84 to the north. Oh, well. I really like this music. Something tells me I'm going to be saying that a lot. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Amaring, is it not? Before you cross the river of sand, you need to turn around. Feast your eyes on that. Wow, how crooked the city is. They built them big, didn't they? That's Kesser Sharl, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabathrang. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say that it was once one of the Navrant's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Nabathrang's lands were lost to the light. Its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many chose to come here these days. Not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become little more than an MRO out roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is deserted as this place. Just wait until you see more Souq. There's these. Ugh. Let's press on, shall we? Away. Ooh, Fields of Ember. I wonder what that used to be. Ah. Let's see. That's some strong web. What? What was that? There's suddenly an AoE here. The attack misses. That must have been from earlier. Let's keep going, I guess. To the south. That's the wrong direction, so we're gonna keep on going. Here we are, Souq. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. Souq, not just full of Mord, but Humes. Wait, which one's the Mord? And all manner of others too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot you could never wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gengen? I'm gonna say Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. Are these the board? Kobolds? I assume so. Look at that thing! What the fuck is that? Look at its arms! What is that? Amazing. It's weird seeing them without their, like, helms on. So that's what they look like under that. Huh. Time to attune to this shit. To the west. Somewhere up there. Not sure if there's a way. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Eh. Why can't I get up here, huh? Well. So much for that. Look, it's a well. Or a big, fancy puddle. I thought it was going to be much deeper than that. Well, bun. Gen. Okay. Naming conventions. That's a cool pool. Jesus Christ.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of
Ah,
the
I got it right.
Souq I was telling you about.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Maud's.
Have we ever heard one of these speak before? Like, voice acting wise?
Souq is Mordish for city. As things stand, this Souq boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too. Many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Maud Souq's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Maud dig up.
This guy has like a vague, like, Tim Curry impersonation to it.
Aye, that they do. For Maud do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our Souq is always busy, busy, busy. No such
Souq.
thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it?
And I'll do this with my hands. Yes, I did do the gesture. He sounds like Tim
Or perhaps
Curry.
a Maud philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed.
I can't get over it.
Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals.
Eliza.
And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
Would one say that he's not much of a man by the light of day?
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Ferbert. Man, there's probably some dank lore attached to this.
Verbert gold?
Oh my god!
Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here! Come and look!
Why?
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
I'll go for some food. I should see where the food is. I'm sure they have like level 70 food here. Or if not here, then at the Crystarium. It'll be better than the fish that I have, I suppose. Ron. Material supplier, that's a weird name. Welcome to Ronron's Traveler. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? Browse Ronron's wares. This is interesting. Target a foodstuff inspect. Mate. Braid. pass on that. I'm a cat, so meat. That's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it will warm you up in the chilly desert nights. Bread. I call that mush loaf? Mush loaf? The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits. So even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. There's a freaking everyone's favorite plump white worm slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. And there's one more. Ah, skewers. Oh, you like those. Chewy skewers. I find small frogs hiding under rocks. Spear with stick, then roast over fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. I myself am not the biggest fan of spicy foods, but maybe Allah is. Who knows? Either way, it's the best looking thing here. They all look tasty, yes? Which will you choose? Which to choose? The meat! There's our burning bounty. Yes, put some spice in your step. You won't feel the cold this night, and probably not the next one either. You have the gold. And done. One Voberite, that word, honor buys you 10 sides of lizard meat. Oh, they just said that word and I already forgot how to pronounce it. 10 sides of lizard meat, okay. Oh my god. Which will you eat the lot? Will you eat the lot? I'll share the rest. Oh boy. If there's even the slightest chance I can get this reaction from others, I'm doing it. A visitor invites us to feast. Oh, okay. Let us give thanks for this great generosity and small appetite. Consider your coin push correct. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honored ours. The Warrior of Light brought low by spicy food. Keeping the merchandise down, yes. No returns. I have this receipt for... I need food. Buffalo beans, crafting material. Here we go. Broad bean salad, 3,400 each. Spell speed, tenacity, piety. I need something else besides that, so I'll have to check the Crystarium. There's another vendor over here that we can check out. Get rid of this notification. check this shit out. It's more of the Ishgardian stuff. Hmm. Huh. That's not bad. Ooh, ninjas get this. That's neat. Alright. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's keep things going. How's my gear doing? Fine. I was watching from here, Allah. You honored our custom with great relish. You will always be welcome in Souq. If you need anything in Amarang, we are here to provide. Hey! Hey! Still with the white oak stuff. You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the belly ache you'll have on the morrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Souq. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye, well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All properly paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go on and take care of some last-minute haggling, then. See you in a bit. Market receipt at any time during this quest. Table cactus, iron ore. Neverth and Rang antiques mill to be collected from Momo. Interesting. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a quest given from a pamphlet before. Here's one. Alright. Antiques. Alright, now what was the last one? Two cactus from Thon, Thultal. Thotal. Why do I get the feeling this one's going to be hard to find? They're hidden at the top of a jumping puzzle. That's what it's gonna be. Where's he going? Okay. Bun bun. Outside the circle now. Bill. Stuffy today. Mill. Wasn't that one? I thought it was. So, okay, yeah. Iron ore. Okay. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. And quick work too, considering you've not set foot in this place before. I thought you wanted to visit. Bleh. I thought you wanted to sit in the city like the Exarch. Something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you returned, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Besides, it feels like an age since I last saw you. What if it isn't the lovely Tesleen? That's a name. It has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This gentleman was on his way to meet Alisaie. I was supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alisaie has told me so much about you. You're Allah, aren't you? That's me. I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer in the inn, and I've gotten to know Alisaie quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Allah's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That would help you. That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight on after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Emerang, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Alisaie has been desperate to see you, Allah, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. I agreed. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spire from here. From, like, right here? I don't see shit. We just need to swing around the ridge and then head south. Come on. I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. What is that? It's just sticking out of the wall. Is that the flood? Is that what it looks like? Big old giant crystals? Makes sense, I guess. Kinda. That's a scary looking thing. Is that axe floating above it? Or... I gotta look at this. This has to be level 80, yeah. Juggler Hecatomb. Heckentomb. Look at that thing. Interesting. Right, Tisleen. All set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. While most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance, the local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may load myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you can handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? Well, I don't know. I thought you might. Alisaie was always saying how much you, I mean, let's get going, shall we? No, what? What'd she say? Should probably get a Thapnarian onion for my chocobo. Speaking of which... Grid's still on. Still getting used to Dark Knight. Sorry there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alisaie was strong, but in her mind she was never... No, it makes sense. Now it makes sense. Why? Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Oh. Thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. Another aetheryte. So it looks like the flood was literally a flood. And like it got frozen in place. I guess that's why the building's just there. Go away. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make it a trip alone. It seems you end up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first let's head inside, shall we? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alisaie arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. The afflicted? You don't know? Excuse me. I don't think I've met anyone besides Alisaie who is so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alisaie give you the full explanation. Where's my girl? I'm ready to see her. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. That looks like a sin eater. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Oh, look at that. Alright, girl, I'm here. Where are you? Alisaie is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size. This lead off to the northwest. That's right. Ah, excuse me. I need to kill you real quick. No, I got it, okay. Northwest. West. Wow. Tracks here, but they ended a mess of disturbed sand. Sin Eater.
Get back here!
Is that... It can't be.
Alisaie, you're mid-fall! Pay attention to your landing, girl. You almost lost.
I had it under control, right up until the moment I didn't. I'll do better next time. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Girl, turn around and look at me.
How are you? We fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
That's what the afflicted are, I guess. It's just a matter of time, or for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here at the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. This leader and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters. Which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Still White Oak. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn and you can clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater. But you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's a kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Sand sucker. Southwest. Still, it's close by. Southwest. Oh, there it is. I don't want any suck today. Thank you. Let's see. There it is. Look at them. They think they're cool because they're flying already. How did you fare? I thought there might be one or two lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you notice it yourself, but individually these lesser sin-eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. So it's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat, much like the void scent. They have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin-eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols. To cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Teslane, shall we? Z tells me you helped on her patrol. You have our thanks. My apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see you two found each other. You have no idea how badly Alisaie has missed your company. Everything is always, if Allah were here, he would... That's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Allah's methods. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. The way he leaps into the fray, without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing. Though I've no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets just as you do. I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alisaie? What, twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can do to help with you. I could do with a hand, it's true, thank you. You could start by helping me sort out the larder, I'll say. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them, and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Panil, Toten, Halric. They may not give much in the way of response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. Oh, this is this little boy. I thought he looked young. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh. You've seen the patients. How were they? Howard's not doing great. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. Concerned about Howard, though. I'll have to speak with the other carriers, but I think his time may be near. I shall leave you to have that discussion then. I was going to take Aladamor to Souq if you have any errands that need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Kassar's caravan just passed through, so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Ala. There's something I want you to see. Right after we stop at Ron's stall, of course. Don't... I don't want to see them put down. I don't want to see that. Uh-huh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ronron's wares. Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Ah yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge. gods, I've never seen a Mord merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Ah, yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. For what? Alisaie, don't tell me you're eating worms, girl. Come on. You're better than that. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. The worms, if you please. Only the best regulars for you. Come again, my friends. Alright, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetheryte to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Glazed wrigglers. You actually bought them. I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Only once. Never fails, shall we? Alright, what are we looking at?
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought. It's Halric's favorite fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food.
Oh my
In my
god.
time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield.
Girl, come on.
So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
is rough. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Oriange's lecturing. And I need you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just a threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. I hate this. The carers are truly fond of their wards, and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against fate worse than death. Let's delay this as much as possible and take the long way there, shall we? I don't like this. Beck, I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find the nectarine? Thank you. Alisaie explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we've decided to keep an eye on Alric for now. Thanks to you, though. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. God. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a sit and I'll make us a nice soup.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs. That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Oh boy.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Oh no. Okay. Let's get to it. This story suddenly just took a turn. Please don't be Halric. Please don't be Halric. Just be a generic Sin Eater of someone that I haven't met. I don't want to think about the implications of that right now. And again, I don't know if I want to see this kid turn. There's probably a cutscene here.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Oh boy.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it! There it is! Is that... Oh, oh no! Halric!
Oof.
We have to run!
Oh my god.
Tesling! No!
We all deserve happiness. Wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Oh my god. Good fucking gods. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Good fucking god.
no, no, no!
Oh my god. Holy shit. That was legitimately horrifying. It was so much worse than I ever expected it to be. That... Holy shit. God. What's he looking at? Focus is unresponsive. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky. The Sin-Eaters made their escape. Good fucking gods. Ellie, I know that was horrifying, but come on, you can't blame yourself for this. I'm fucking speechless. Holy shit. I just... What, I realize I'm being really silent here, but what do I say after that? I just... Ugh. Guess I can help here, I guess. Ugh. Good gods. God, we haven't even gotten to the first dungeon yet. Emotions I didn't expect to feel this early into Shadowbringers. Come on, Ellie. Let's get out of here. From a Eorzea's sword in the darkness to Nevrant's sword in the light. It feels like an age ago now. Miss Alisaie, is there anything I can get you? You're swift as Amaro. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Man. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind helped to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out, shall we? Oh, that's not the one I wanted to go to. Damn. Before I forget, I need to get some food, I think. Okay. Let's see. We got a lot of vendors here. Arms merchant, armor, tier supplier, merchant and mender. Looking for a culinarian, jeweler. Tool supplier, culinarian. Perception, control, GP, tenacity, and vitality. Well, it is tanking food, but I think I'd rather take damage. Up. Having perception, charisma, spell speed, CP, tenacity, critical hit. Might get that. Direct hit, 96. Well, I suppose that'll do. I have to remember that. Alright. Let's get back to it. There it is. Oh, damn it. I'm gonna keep doing that. try this again. Which one is it? Dulcigate. That's quite the tale, that's for sure. Thanks for seeking me out, Hala. It meant a lot to have you there at my side and looking at Alpha now. I'd say he's eager to begin this discussion as I am. I say we lay our experiences before the XR and step back to see what kind of picture they make. Then we can decide where to go from here.
And so you return. Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
I'd say so.
Better is not the word I would use. Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens.
Light Wardens.
And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist.
Light Wardens.
Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
I have a feeling Yulmor might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Vorthra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity. Your uncertainty is understandable, given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then. In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds. This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as umbral calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed.
So every time there's been a calamity, another shard has been absorbed?
At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrant, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Hallminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alisaie as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
Feels like it's time for the first dungeon. Hallminster Switch is in the north of Lakeland, so we had best make haste with our preparations. In fact, meet me outside the Crystarium at the crossroads northwest of the Ancestor Gate, and I shall lead you there myself. Oh boy. Ugh. we going to be able to use Trust for this one? We have a healer and a DPS, and of course me as the tank. Alex the Exarch joins in. Oh, there's Zach. It's Kevin's brother. All set. If we follow this road north, we will be arriving at the northern staging point. The village itself lies not too far beyond. Quickly now. What is... I was about to say, that looks new. Oh, Mr. Switch is past these gates and through the woods. 'Tis not exactly a near neighborhood to the Crystarium, but as we occupy the same region, we have built up something of a cooperative relationship. What can we expect inside, Captain? The town is beset by a swarm unlike any we have seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate the villagers, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have good reason to believe that a light warden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay a warden sooner than expected. One does not simply, insert the meme there, slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? They hold more light inside them than all of their underlings put together. It can be struck down, aye, but its essence won't dissipate like the weaker kind vial. Like the weaker kind, vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being. A reckless young swordsman, perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. Well, we can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask that you guards down and allow us to engage this leader of eaters alone. Concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. But what if... Understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such danger without an escort of our ranks. I insist I go with you. Hey, oh. Very well then. Our warden slaying party shall include myself, the Levelers, Captain Luna, and last but not least, I'm in. A formidable group indeed. Into Hollowminster we go. Once we reach the Light Warden, do not hold back. We strike to kill. No accessible. Dungeon encounter Shadowbringers main scenario quests can be accompanied solo, alongside a supporting party of NPCs. To make use of this feature, simply speak with one of your NPC companions near the entrance of the instance and select the option to form a party. When forming a party, you will need to follow the same role restrictions imposed by using Duty Finder. Alternatively, you can find party members via Duty Finder as usual and complete the instance with fellow players instead. First time through, for lore reasons, form party and enter. Okay. All-rounder. I'm taking you.
Very well.
Definitely.
My strength is yours.
Let's give it our all. Leave this to me. Let's give it our all.
Alright. Academician? That's something. All-rounder. I guess he'll be the DPS then. Alright, boys and girls. Let's do this. Hollowminster switch. Oh boy. Let's get hype. We're past 2 hours, but this will be the last thing we do for this stream before I take a break. Oh boy. He's a black mage, it looks like. Alright. Let's get these going. Everybody, let's go. Okay. still got that funky carbuncle there. I feel like I can definitely drag them to this. Alright. Let's go. Wow, they hit hard! I should remember that Darkest Night is a thing. Let me get real low there. Oh man, this is rough. That was really rough. Maybe I'm still not used to playing Dark Knight after the changes. This is my first time going into a dungeon doing it, but man, that was scary. I'm surprised I didn't die. So worrying about aggro is still a thing if your party's attacking something you're not. Got it. Alright, so they do seem a bit tankier. It seems like they really don't want you to big pull anything. And they do seem to hit a bit harder. So we'll see how that keeps going forward. Oh boy. It's the same one. Forgiven? I'm not so sure about that. Oh, this is personal now. Let's go. Balls. Oh.
If I must.
Let's bring you back to the middle. Okay. And so have I.
Let's give them a show.
There she goes. Do your thing, girl. Back to mid.
If I must.
Oh, it's dead. If... Interesting first fight. Good bit of revenge there. Let's keep going. It's like I want to keep them in frame in case they say anything. of slaying. Let's wait for this. Come on, cooldown. No, 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 no. Definitely a slower pace. We'll try another big pull. My MP refill a little bit. Oh, that's it. Okay, well. Try to save my cooldowns for what's surely to be the next boss. Alright. Here we go. Don't let this be Tisleen. This is where you went. Oh no. Christ. Okay. Alright. Everybody. Ouch. Here we okay. Listen, I haven't done Omega Savage, alright? Don't hit me with that shit. I barely understood that. I'm pretty sure I did it wrong. Oh, we need to get out to goo. Alright, hopefully I did this right. Okay. Oh, I don't have dark side up. Alright. I'm sorry, Tesleen. Hold still, girl. Just... I mean, where is it? I'll be okay, girl. Come on. Let's keep going. Casting. Oof. Oh my god. Unleash over and over. Okay. Darkest Night feels so important now. For your AoE damage at least. Oh, never stopped. Okay. Astrometer. Manor House Courtyard. Oh boy. Light Warden Affiliate. Look at this fucking Dark Souls shit. Oh, the music. Eh. Oh my god. It's so good. I am very distracted right now.
The time has come. Focus. Release.
Get out of there. Ah! Oh my god. I'm following that. Ah! How's everybody doing? Oh boy. Okay, just keep moving. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Fucking move, fucking move. Holy shit. This is amazing. Ah!
Protect me.
There's nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
Oh my god. Into the light. Oh. Whew. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Amazing. Just everything from the presentation and the music, just, it's all so good. Huh. Let's see what we have here. Lakeland Kane. Can I talk to anybody here? Anybody got anything to say? Alright. Well, I find it interesting that your name is Philia. Oh, man.
It's releasing its ether! Fall back! We cannot let it touch us! Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw!
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption. The blessing of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you.
Us? Oh my god. Riku's deal is consume the darkness, return it to light. Are we consume the light, return it to darkness? Is that what's going on here? Whoa!
Behold, the monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Holy shit. Wow. We just returned the night just like that. Wow. Consume the light, return it to darkness.
It's so beautiful.
The sunless sea.
The sunless sea.
The warrior of darkness has come.
Kingdom Hearts refers to space as like the Sea of Stars as well.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. lord.
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will. I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed. But for the present, I beg you stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the wardens and restore darkness to the first.
You need glorious adventures. Become what you must!
On behalf of the first, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exarch, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villages and make our way back to the Crystarium.
We Dark Boys now. And Dark Girl. North Squad 8. North Squad out. So is Lakeland gonna stay like this now? And have a proper day-night cycle? Well, it's in the middle of the day, so... How quickly you have justified my faith in you. So many lives saved, and the sky itself heralds your success. A single victory in a larger struggle, perhaps, but a momentous one nonetheless. Trust parties unlocked. You can enlist NPC companions to revisit completed instances by opening the Trust interface located under Duty in the main menu. Warrior of Darkness. Once we get back to a sanctuary, I'll call it for the stream. We've been going for almost 3 hours. Now, as for how we proceed from here. The villagers we evacuated earlier have arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting their situation for the moment. Most folk are far too distracted by the sky to worry about sounds of lost homes. They whisper and wonder if the Warrior of Darkness has come. 'Tis to be expected. Allah, I must ask a favor of you. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement in this endeavor for the time being? Seeing the light recede from Lakeland is a momentous occasion, and many will be swept up in the maelstrom of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as a legendary warrior of darkness, I fear that no matter how good your intentions, such an appearance would throw the city into disarray. I find myself in agreement with the Exarch, although my concerns are more focused on Ulmor. It may be best if we maintain a low profile until we see how Vothri responds to all this. My thanks. Though we cannot freely celebrate your success, pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy surely brought into being. And I must ask the same of you, discretion of you, Captain. It is my intention to share with our people the tale of the great warrior who stood in defiance of Sin Eaters. This unnamed champion defeated the Light Warden and has since departed for parts unknown. Yes? As you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folk not to question this either. Although I expect to be told the whole truth of it one day, about all of you. With that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments will consume much of my time, so pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits, and to think you'll not even need to shutter the windows to enjoy dark and peaceful night's sleep. I must stay behind and coordinate the evacuation of the remaining survivors. And I hesitate to ask after all you've done here today, but could I ask you to pass on a message on your way to the pendants? Please let Brocky know that we're bringing in a number of injured, and that any restoratives in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary. We should start making our own way back to the Crystarium. Slowly, mind you. It wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the excerpt. I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on in Hallminster. We already went through the village top to bottom, Alisaie. We should take chance to rest, you included. I need one of those in your side characters. I can't rest, right? Not now. So please, I wish to be alone for a while. And that means you as well, Allah. I shall be cross if you try to follow me. I promise to find you later, when I feel myself again. Alright, fine. Just you and me, then, shall we? Take us back to the Crystarium? Mm-hmm. It's gonna get dark soon. Wow. Oh man. Well, it's been a crazy stream. This story is so fucking good already. I just... Wow. And that was just the first dungeon. I definitely need to do some more experimenting to see just how high the damage is. It may be a thing where just, you know, NPC healer, but like, I don't know. It's going to take trial and error, and I still got to do my leveling roulettes and stuff like that today. So I'll do that off stream as well. But we've been going for 2 hours and 50 minutes, so it's time to call it for now. I'm gonna take a break. Probably won't be on till later tonight, around 7 or 8-ish, I think. So, slowly but surely, we're making our way through this thing. And it's been great so far. So, I will see you guys later. Take care.